Hey you guys, welcome to another YouTube Reformer Flow, all reformer. We are gonna be working on single leg work today. So there are no props other than your box and your jump board, but no external props because it is going to be intense enough because we're gonna focus on one leg at a time. Okay, so you will be standing, you will be jumping, mostly jumping. All right, so just know we're gonna warm up with some standing work on the box, but then we're gonna be mostly jumping. So you do not need any external props today. Okay, now, if you wanna take this again and you wanna intensify things a little bit, you can always put a little lightweight resistance loop around your thighs and work with it there for the entire flow. But doing it for the first time, I would love for you to do it body weight only because where there's going really to be no need for any extra resistance. That is just like in case you want put you out of commission flow, then add that little resistance loop at another time. Okay, you're gonna spend the entire class on one blue spring. That is one light or medium spring, whatever you like to call it. I refer to it as a light spring most of the time, but your blue spring in Balanced Body World. If you're on another brand of reformer, maybe just one spring, maybe a different color, but a light spring. Not extra light, just light, okay? Your jump board is up and locked, ready to go, so have that tight and it's not gonna come down, so keep that up. Your headrest, you have the option of bringing it up or down, okay? We will be on our back jumping. When we are on our back, that headrest needs to be whatever gives you better alignment through your spine. Okay, so I don't want your head tilted where your chin is pointing towards the ceiling, right? Or where you're like this and your chin is tucked, right? You need nice alignment of the spine. So whatever that is for you. Sometimes people don't know that, and I think a really good way for you to check is, if you don't have mirrors, is to video yourself doing a flow. Okay, not in fast speed or slow motion or any of that, or have someone take a picture of you while you're lying down so you can check your alignment. That way you get a good sense of where you need to be, because not always can we even feel it. So that's a good option. You will not need your straps today, so don't worry about those. And you need your reformer box. Your reformer box is on the left side of your machine, lined up with your carriage, although it honestly can be anywhere because we're not gonna use the carriage and the box at the same time. Okay, so wherever you have it is really fine. All right, we're gonna start warming up the lower half. Now think lower body focus today. Core and lower body focus. Not too much through the upper body, all right? Let's hit it, okay? Come onto your box, all right? You are gonna stand on your box, feet slightly wider than hips width, just slightly, okay? We're gonna bring our hands to our hips and we're gonna find a squat to start, all right? So I want you to think about your sitting bones when we squat. On an exhale, you're gonna reach those sitting bones back for your heels. Notice how my torso naturally tilts, right? Naturally tilts, and then I inhale as I rise up. Okay, need to make any adjustments, make those now. Exhale, reaching back with your sitting bones. You'll feel the sitting bones and the glutes broaden, right? And then when we rise, the sitting bones and the glutes narrow to help lift you. Okay, exhale, reach the sitting bones, the torso tilts. You'll notice that your torso is the same angle as your shins, right? My knees are staying behind my toes. Inhale, rise up. Good. Exhale, bend. Inhale, rise. Good, and I'm noticing right now my ankles are feeling a little tight, right? So I'm just checking in with that. Do that full body scan as we work and warm up here, right? Thinking about those sitting bones. I want to dig deep into that lateral engagement. So I'm thinking about separating the ground between my feet. Notice that my booty is not going lower than my knees, right? They're staying above knee height because I'm keeping that core engagement, right? Ribs in alignment with my hips, right? They stack together, they follow together. I don't open my ribs, I don't shorten my low back. Inhale, rise up. Let's go for 2 more. Exhale, reach into that squat. Inhale, rise up. Make sure all 10 toes are down, right? Where it might be heavier through the heel, but we have a solid foot connection. Inhale, rise up. Feel everything work to lift you. Now on your next one, you're going to hold it for me. All right, so find your squat and hold it. Okay, now I want you to focus on your sitting bones, right? The bottom of the pelvis, the bones right at the center of the glute. We're going to go up 1 inch by bringing them closer together, and then down 1 inch by broadening them. Up 1 inch by narrowing, down 1 inch by broadening. Good. Up and down. Up and down. Good. Up and down. 5 more. Up and down. Last 4. Lift and lower. Last 3. Lift and lower. Last 2. Lift and lower. Last 1. Lift and lower and rise all the way up. Nice job. Okay. 2 legs. I like to start center, but now we're going to go to single leg. So you are going to turn side facing on your box. You want your left foot on the box and your right foot dangling off the box. Okay? We need to work up our single legs because that's what's going to be working. All right? So we're going to be unilateral for most of this class. Hands on your hips again. I want you to focus on a neutral pelvis. You are nice and tall. I want you to pretend you're standing up on 2 legs even though you're not. Right? So hips are level, feet are at the same height. Okay, now we're going to focus on our standing leg, that is our left leg. So we're going to do a plie. On your exhale, you're going to bend your left knee. Notice my torso does not tilt because it's a plie, not a squat. And then I rise back up. Okay, exhale, bending that left knee. Now in your plie, you can always take a look down. Make sure that that left knee is tracking right between your big toe and your second toe, right? So we've got nice alignment happening. Inhale, rise up. Now you have options with your hands. If you want to take them out in a T for a little counterbalance, you can do that. If you want to bring them up and overhead, right, for a longer lever, a little more challenge to the core, you can do that. All right, but if you just really want to focus on that lower half today, which is going to get quite sticky, then go ahead and keep your hands on your hips. Bend and press. Good. 4 more. Plie. Think about the energy, right? The energy running down the lateral line of the body, the outside of the body, all the way under the sole of the foot, under that arch and up the inner thigh, which lifts along the pelvic, in through the pelvic floor and along the spine. Think about that. Down, lift that inner thigh, pull it up along the spine. Good. 2 more. Bend and press. Good. Last one. Bend and press. Now I'm going to ask you to do 1 and hold it. All right, so you're going to find that plie and hold it. It's nice and tall. Sternum over pubic bone, core is engaged, ribs are wrapping. Okay, now your right leg. You're going to point that right toe, and you're going to reach it towards the front edge of your box. Now you're going to sweep that leg around and back to tap the back edge of the box. Around and forward to tap the front. Around and back to tap the back. So I'm doing a little semicircle with my right femur head in my hip, but my left leg is in an isometric plie. It's not moving. Okay, so you want to hold everything nice and quiet at the pelvis. Sweep and tap. Good. 4 and front. Last 3. To the back and to the front. Last 2. To the back and to the front. Relax your left toes, because when they start to grip, we fill it all the way up through the ankle and the calf and come all the way up out of that plie. Now stay on this left leg. We're not done, I know. I know. All right, you're going to give me 1 more little soft bend to the knee, but not a full plie. So just soften your left knee joint, okay? That's all I want you to do. Now, that right leg, you're going to continue to point the right toe, but we're going to hinge. So my torso is going to lower towards the box as my right leg lifts up and back, right? The same rate as my chest lowers, my leg lifts. And I want to find parallel with the box. That's my goal, right? We may not be there today, but that's our goal. And then we come back up nice and slow, nice and slow, nice and slow. That right leg is directly under the hip. Let's do it again. Keep that left knee joint nice and soft. You're gonna hinge, right? Rolling the pelvis over that left femur head, right? The top of the left thigh bone in the pelvis. We rotate the pelvis over that. Good, we level out our hips. We find parallel and we stay there for a second so that we can really feel everything working to stabilize, right? That's where we start to perfect the movement. Good. Inhale. Breathing into the rib basket. Good. Finding parallel with the floor, reaching that right inner thigh out the big toe. And then exhale, coming back up. Good. You have 3 more. Nice and slow. We're not going to rush this. Hinge. Good. Good. No grip. No grip anywhere. Keeping that knee joint soft allows you to find balance, right? You have 2 more. 2 more. Hinge. Good. And lift. Amazing. Amazing. 1 more. You're almost done with this, warming up this leg. Right leg travels back. Hold your hinge. Find your hinge and hold your hinge for me. Just hold it. Level out your pelvis. Draw the belly button up and in. You're here for 4, for 3, for 2, and come all the way back up and switch legs. Right foot on the box, okay? So you're gonna turn around. Okay, so once we're done with the box, doing this on the box, we're done with the box completely. You won't use it anymore. All right, now, right foot's on the box. Left foot's dangling off. I know very rarely do we do our sides back to back, but today we have a purpose, right? So that's why we're warming up this way. All right, your right foot is grounded. Your left leg is directly underneath you. Flex that foot for me so you can pretend you're standing up on both legs. Level out your hips, right? Figure out where you want your arms for this side. Remember, you have those options, T overhead. All right, now from here, we're gonna start with that plie, sternum over pubic bone. You're gonna bend that right knee. Feel for the tracking. Inhale, rise up. Now, don't be afraid to find your plie and just take a second and look down. Is my knee tracking with big toe, second toe, or is it not? All right, can we feel for that? Can we start to feel for that? Bend, whoo, my balance is not good on my right. Bend and press. Now your range of motion is gonna be dictated by flexibility a little bit here, okay? Because you're not tilting through the torso, right? We're keeping the sternum over the pubic bone. We're finding that energy that runs under the sole of the foot and lifts up through the inner thigh and into the pelvic floor. Okay, bend. Woo. And press. You want to think about keeping those inner thighs close together, right? Because you want to try to access the midline connection and strength. Good. 4 more. Bend. And press. Now, if you notice one side is shakier than the other, do that deep little check, right? Are your toes gripping? Can we relax that? Good. Inhale, lift. 2 more. Bend. And press. Last one. Bend. And press. Now, you're going to give me 1 plie and hold it. Here we go. Find that bend, hold it. Point that hanging leg, that left leg, point that toe. You're gonna take that toe to the front of the box, and then you're gonna sweep it in a semicircle to the back. Good, to the front, woo, and to the back. Oh, you feel the heat? I mean, this leg was working before, so that's why we feel the heat a little bit quicker possibly. Good, to the back. Try to find that movement and mobility of the femur in your left hip. Right? You want to make as big of a semicircle as you can, finding stability. Good. Forward and back. Good. Forward. 4 more. And back. Try to keep your plie nice and stable. Forward. And I have a lot of things going on outside in the windows that I'm looking out, so I'm finding it very hard to focus on keeping my balance. Good. We got one house is moving, one house is doing lawn care, last two. I gotta find another spot to look. Good. Last one. Bring it all the way to the front. Bring it all the way to the front before you come out of it. Sweep it under the body and stand. Now, don't go anywhere. We got that hinge, okay? So relax your right toes, level out your pelvis again, keep your left toes pointed. Here we go. You're gonna soften that right knee joint. Soften it for me. And we're gonna hinge. We're gonna hinge, keeping the joint soft and pliable. Remember, the ground underneath you is stable, okay? Know that. Have confidence in that. And then come all the way back up. Sometimes our mind plays tricks on us when it comes to this balance work, especially when we're on an elevated surface. I want you to relieve yourself of that fear and know that the ground underneath you, unless there is an earthquake right now, is not moving. Okay? And come back up. Exhale, sorry. Good. Finding that hinge. The leg is lifting at the same rate that your chest is lowering. Good, and coming back up. Leveling out the pelvis in every piece of the movement, right? That's a constant focus. Good, constant focus. 3 more. Hinge. Keeping the ribs and the pelvis moving as one unit, right? All the way up. Good, keep them linked. They're linked. They go together. Hinge. And lift. Good, and if you're losing your balance, it's okay. Pause, take a deep breath, right? Some days are better than others, especially when it comes to balance work. Good, and come back up. And lift up out of that foot back on the box. Nice job, you guys. Okay, no longer need the box. So if you want to get it out of the way, you can. I'm just going to slide mine back, and we are on the reformer now. All right, we're going to go back to that left leg. All right, so the one that we warmed up first. Now you're going to lie on your back to start. So whatever is best for your spine alignment is what you want to do with that headrest. I'm going to leave mine down, but if your chin is pointing up towards the ceiling like this, I need you to lift your headrest. Okay? All right, arms are long by your side. You're going to bring both legs on the jump board to start and press out to 2 straight legs. Now you're on that 1 blue spring, and that is where we're going to stay all of class. You're not going to move it. All right, now, keeping your left foot on the jump board directly under the hip, you're going to bring that right leg over the hip into a tabletop position. And I want you to go ahead and flex that foot so that we feel strong with the right leg. All right, your right shin is parallel to the floor. I don't want you to let the heel hang. All right, we want to keep that 90-degree angle at the back of the knee over the hip so that that femur head can sink into the pelvis. That's going to help us maintain a neutral spine and pelvis. So we want to keep that little breathing room under our low back, right? Draw the ribs together, pull the belly button up and through them. All right, arms are long by your side. Here we go. On your exhale, you're going to bend your left knee, and on your inhale, you're going to hop. Okay, so single leg hopping on that left leg. Now, you know I'm a big stickler on jump. I love to jump, but it's not just supposed to be fun, right? So I want you to really challenge yourself, right? Even though you do get a good amount of cardio with jumping, I want you to challenge yourself on your form today, all right? Because if we never work on these things, the range of motion, the flexibility, and the connection to the core is never going to grow, right? Okay, so we are landing through the ball of our foot all the way to our heel. Every time your heel makes a solid connection with the jump board. When we leave heel, ball, toe. Okay? And there's never a big shove through the leg. Okay, one analogy that I love, or one metaphor I love to think of when I'm jumping, is think of a little child letting go of a balloon, right? It just releases so softly from their hand. That's how I want you to release from the jump board, like you're letting go of a balloon. Inhale, exhale, land. Inhale, exhale, land. Use the inhale breath to inflate that balloon. Inhale, exhale, land. Inhale, exhale, land. All core, right? I know that the leg's gonna get tired just because of all the emphasis being on this one leg for a while, all right? But we're thinking about that strong core connection and our breath helping that strength. Good, that's why we inhale when we leave. The diaphragm drops, we inflate the core, and then we exhale as we land. Good. We've been here for a minute, so we're gonna switch it up. In 5, good. In 4, last 3, good. Keep jumping for me. Okay, we're gonna add a little kick. So when you leave, you're gonna kick and bring it back to land. Kick and bring it back to land. Good. So I don't want your kick to change the orientation of your pelvis. Okay, so you need to keep that pelvis neutral as you bring that leg up. So that's gonna challenge, or not challenge, but possibly hinder your range of motion. All right, so I want you to be aware of what's happening at the pelvis. Kick, exhale, land. Still using that metaphor of letting go of a balloon, right? Still thinking about that because it's not powerful, okay? Good. 6 and land. 5, keeping that right knee directly over the hip. 4, 3, 2, last 1. Now I'm going to have you pause for just a moment. Straighten out your left leg. We're going to do straight leg jumps. Okay, so it's a roll and a flick through the foot. So it looks like this. You're going to roll up to the toe and flick. Do not bend your knee. Do not bend your left knee. The goal now is a straight leg jump, right? So it's almost like you're pointing your toe, but your toe is giving some power to flick off the jump board. Exhale, land. Inhale, exhale, land. The breathing pattern is the same, okay? Good. Really resist the urge to bend the knee. That is challenging. That's a little bit of a mind game. Good. Hang on. Right here. Still neutral spine and pelvis. 8, 7, 6. Good. 5. Relax your shoulders. 4, 3, 2. Last 1. And come all the way in. You are rolling onto your right side, okay? Onto your right side, on your right forearm to start. Okay, so your right forearm up against your shoulder blocks, okay? Knees stacked and curled up to start, but what we're gonna do is we're gonna take that left foot around the center of the jump board or so, somewhere around mid-jump board, and you're gonna extend that left leg all the way out. Now your bottom leg is gonna stay bent, that knee at a 45-degree angle off the hip. Okay, I want you to make sure that you are lifting up out of that right shoulder and your elbow is directly under the shoulder. Very important. Okay, I'm going to place my left hand on my hip, but you can put it behind your head. You can have it up in the sky, whatever you would like to do. All right, make sure that left set of toes is pointing forward. You're going to bend and hop. Same thing. Everything's the same, except we're just not on our back now, okay? You're still leaving like someone let go of a balloon, okay? You're still landing with a full foot connection, so rolling down to your heel. That's gonna change how much you bend your knee, right? You can bend your knee a lot more if you don't let the heel come down. Look how far in I'm going. But that's not what I want you to do. I want you to get that heel to make a solid connection. And I don't mean just a tap and a pop off. I mean a tap and a hold until you leave again. Okay? Full articulation through the foot and ankle. All right? I promise you, this is going to help your walk, your stride. Gait is a fancy word for walk, but that's what we're doing. We're working on our gait. okay? Inhale, exhale, land. Inhale, exhale, land. My knee tracks with my big toe and my second toe. All the bone rhythms are the same, okay? We're just in a different position. My hips are stacked, I'm not rolling back, and I'm staying lifted out of that right shoulder, okay? So you are getting some upper body work today. It's just not aggressive and we're not focusing there. Good, you're here for 6, 5, good. 4, we're gonna change it up. In 3, remember, full extension of that leg. You point that toe when you leave. 2, keep jumping, don't stop. We're gonna add that kick again. So it's a sweep forward and back to land. Sweep, back to land. Good, now challenging, right? Because I don't want you to move that pelvis and I don't want you to collapse in the right shoulder, right? So we've gotta hold all of that strong as we leave, right? The core really needs to engage. Good, excellent. Sweep and bring it back. Now, maybe your leg is not coming directly in front of your hip. That's okay. That's okay. You kick where you can control your form, right? You can control. It's not a big shove through the leg. It's still that inhale breath that takes you out. Inhale, exhale, land. 4, 3, 2, 1. Bring it in and pause, okay? Now go out to that straight leg one more time. Hold. We're gonna do that straight leg jump, okay? Are you ready? Here we go. No bend of the knee. Control it. You're gonna roll up to the ball of the foot and give a little flick. A roll and a flick. A roll and a flick. Good. A roll and a flick. Excellent. Everything else is the same. You're still rolling through the foot the same way. We're just not bending the knee. Inhale, exhale, land. Inhale, exhale, land. Good. This is it. 8, 7, 6, 5. We're going to lay all the way down on our side in 4, 3, 2, 1. Lie down on your right side. You're staying on that leg. Now, lying on your side, I suggest bringing up your headrest. Okay, that's going to give you nice alignment. You can always replace the headrest by keeping it flat and just putting a yoga block there to close this gap between your shoulder and your ear, okay? But otherwise, you wanna find a stacked position with those hips still. My right knee is still bent forward, okay? Now, my shoulders are stacked just like my hips. I don't want that to change as I jump, okay? Now, find some space underneath your bottom waistline because we need to maintain that. All right, so that you could slip your fingers under your bottom waistline. That's gonna keep the core 360, okay? Here we go, we're gonna start that jump again. You're gonna bend that left knee, inhale, jump. Starting with full range of motion, just so we can get everything to sink in alignment-wise. Start to find that mind and muscle connection now with the head down. So your proprioception might be off a little bit, okay? That's okay. We're gonna orient ourselves a little bit. Inhale, exhale, land. Inhale, exhale, land. Still thinking about someone letting go of that balloon, right? On that inhale, exhale. Inhale, release the balloon. Exhale, land. Good. Is there space under that bottom waistline? I want you to maintain that. Okay, 6, 5, 4, 3. We're gonna go external and parallel rotation. So here we go. You're gonna land once in external rotation, so toes angled towards the top right corner, and then once in parallel. External, so you're swiveling the femur head in the hip to make that inner thigh shine a little more forward, and then back to parallel where the inner thigh shines towards the midline, right? Now, the roll of the femur in the hip is isolated into the hip, right? I don't wanna see it happen on the outside with your pelvis rolling back. Okay, your pelvis is quiet and stable. There's space under your bottom waistline. You're holding that, all right? You're holding that. All of that is your core control. Good. Rotate, external, land parallel. Land external. Every time I'm getting my heel down, land parallel. Good, you're here for 6. Whoo, it's a little hot in that hip. 5. Good. 4, See, now this is why you don't really need that resistance loop. But if you would like to add it the next time you take this class, you absolutely can. Last 2, if you're ready for some torture, right? And there are days for that. Good, last 1, continue to jump, full range of motion. Full range of motion, parallel. Parallel, no more external, okay? So you're landing only in parallel. You're here for 4 before we change it up one more time. 3, 2, we're gonna take this into a knee pull. So on your next one, your knee is gonna come forward and back to land. Knee comes forward and back to land. Good, in front of the hip, and then we send it back. And back to land. Good, inhale, exhale, land. Inhale, exhale, land. Good, you want that knee to stop in front of the hip so the femur can be pulled back. Good, inhale, exhale, land. 6, good, space under that waistline. 4, 3, 2, 1, and bring it all the way in. Oh, okay, on your hands and knees. So flip over, face down. You can always change your headrest to a down position. You want to be over towards the left side of your carriage, okay? So your wrists under your shoulders, your knees under your hips. My hands are surrounding that left shoulder block, okay? Now, my left leg is still my jumping leg. So keeping the right knee directly aligned under the hip, you're going to take that left foot to the jump board and extend out to a straight leg. Okay, now this time, we're starting with the straight leg jump, okay? So it's a roll and a flick. There is no bend to the knee at all. Square off your hips, square off your shoulders. Here we go. It's a roll and a flick, no bending of the knee. A roll and a flick. Inhale, exhale, land. Inhale, exhale, land. Good. Control it. Now, think about your body weight. You've got a nice cross-diagonal sling connection going on between your left hand and your right shin. Those two cross-body, right? Nice and heavy. Good. So that prevents you from dumping into your right hip by keeping that left hand heavy. Notice my elbows are soft. They are not locked out like stilts. Okay, inhale, exhale, land. 4, 3, 2, we're gonna take this into full range of motion. So right here, you're gonna let the knee bend and hop. Okay, now your knee bend is gonna be pretty small here, okay? Because I still want you to challenge your flexibility, keeping the heel with a solid connection, okay? Bend and extend. Still think about that balloon as you inhale, exhale, land. Inhale, exhale, land. Point that toe, reach that left leg long and strong. 8, 7, 6, 5, good. 4, 3, 2. Now we're adding that knee pull back. So here we go. We're gonna leave and knee under hip and back to land. Knee under hip, back to land. Good. Hip, back to land. Hip, back to land. Good. Challenging choreography here. Okay, knee comes in, knee goes out, we bend. Knee comes in, knee goes out, we bend. Good. Keep it going. You're almost there. This is your last layer. 8, 7, 6, 5, get that heel down. 4, challenge yourself. 3, 2, last 1, and bring it all the way in. Oh, I think we're sufficiently done with that left leg jumping. We're gonna move on to the other side. All right, so I want you to scoot over to the right side. We're just gonna continue right from this place. All right, so close to the right edge or right corner of your reformer. If you need to give your wrists a roll real quick, go ahead and do that. You're gonna keep your left knee directly under your hip this time. Your right foot is coming to the jump board. Okay, let's press out to a straight right leg. Hold. Okay, let's draw that only belly button you have, up and in between the shoulder blades. Okay, you find that cross-body connection between your right hand and your left shin. Here we go, starting with straight leg flicks. You're gonna roll and flick through the right toes. Now, the first one out of the gate on all of these, right, might feel weird, especially when it's a straight leg jump. Starting with those on the new leg, right, it feels weird, right, to not bend the knee and absorb the weight of your landing. I want you to really find that mind and body connection, right? That's why it's so important to work distraction-free when we're together, okay? No phone, no TV, no pets, no kids, no husbands, no wives, all right? Just let it, this is your time. This is your time. Roll and flick. Roll and flick. Good. Really control that. Good. Even I lose focus talking to you, so I'm going to try to really try hard here. Good. You're here for 8, 7, 6. Excellent. 5, 4. Don't bend that knee. 3, 2. Last one. Now bend that knee. Full range of motion. Bend the knee. Full range of motion. So you're going to notice, right, you may not be able to bend the knee as much as you can on some other jumps, all right, because I want you to get that heel down. So you're challenging that dorsiflexion through the front side of the ankle. That's challenging. Good. Exhale, inhale, leave. Exhale, inhale, leave. Elbows are soft. I'm nice and stable. Notice I'm not rocking back and forth with my jump. My knee stays under my hip. My shoulders stay over my wrists. Inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale. 8, 7, 6, 5. Good. 4, 3. We're going to come into that knee pull in 2. Now right here, you knee pulls in and out to land. In and out to land. In, out, good. Make sure you absorb your landing. In, out, and bend. Whoo! Sometimes my mind gets the best of me on these ones, right? Because, well, first of all, you're prone, right? There's a quicker movement happening in a short amount of time. So we're moving faster, right? But still holding the same amount of control. Exhale, inhale. Good. Keep breathing. Don't worry if your breath isn't syncing up perfectly, right? Because sometimes when that choreography comes into play, it's tough, right? And we need a minute. All right, you're here for 8. Whoo! 7, 6, 5, 4, 3. We're coming into that side lying position in 2 and 1. And bring it all the way in. Okay, I'm gonna put my headrest back up, or you can replace it with that yoga block, whatever you'd like to do. Go ahead and lie down on your left side all the way, left ear on the headrest. Let's curl up those legs at a 45 off the hips, stack the pelvis, stack the shoulders. My right foot comes to the jump board and I press out to a straight right leg hold. Okay, I want you to make sure you find that space between your left waistline and the carriage. Relax your left arm, okay? Try not to hold too much tension there as you work. My right hand's gonna go on my hip, but you have options behind your head, up in the air. You pick, okay? My right toes are pointing forward. On your exhale, you're gonna bend that right knee. Inhale, leave. Good, so full range of motion is where we start here, okay? I want you to really focus on a long and strong leg when you leave. Reach that inner thigh right out your big toe. Point those toes. Good. Inhale, exhale, land. Good. Keep remembering the release of a balloon. Good. So it's not a powerful press or powerful push off the leg. It's not a push ever. Good. Inhale, exhale, land. Good. Keeping everything working. With my hand on my hip, I can even press my hip bone away from me to create some traction length on my right waistline, right? So sometimes that feels good. I can traction that a little bit. It also helps keep me honest with my positioning and keep space under that bottom waistline. 8, good. 7, 6, we're gonna go external and parallel in 5, 4, 3, 2, good. Now you're gonna go land in external rotation, land in parallel. Land in external, land in parallel. So my toes are shining towards that top left corner of the jump board on that external, then back to parallel, right? But that external rotation does not move my hips. My hips are quiet. I'm isolating the rotation to the femur head in the pelvis, in that hip socket, okay? Find that, rotate that leg like it's a skewer, right? And the booty is your marshmallow, right? We need to toast all sides. All sides. It is getting toasted, so that's good. It's working. It's working. Good. Rotate. And parallel. Good. Everything's nice and stable. Relax your left hand. 6. And parallel. Good. Heel touches down every time. 5. Good. 4. Good. 3. Yay. Right? 2. And parallel. Last 1. Come back to full range of motion. So you're in parallel. You're in parallel. Okay? Hold it right here. Good. And I can't remember if we did the kick here or if we did it when we were up on our forearm. I can't remember, guys. All right, so just stay here because I think we did it when we were on our forearm. Yes, I'm pretty sure. You're here for 6. 5. Good. 4. 3. 2. 1. And bring it all the way in. Okay, come up onto your forearm. All right, so we'll get it done. If we forgot something, we'll get it done here on our sideline this way. So your left elbow is now underneath your shoulder. My forearm is against my shoulder blocks. My knees are still curled up and stacked. My right foot's coming back to that jump board, and I'm going to extend all the way out to a straight right leg in parallel. Okay? Here we go. We're going to start with that roll and flick. Okay? Actually, did we start with that last time around? I can't remember, but that's where we're starting right now. So you're going to roll through the foot and flick. I promise you'll get all the same movement, just the order may not be the same. Roll and flick. Roll and flick. Good. Roll and flick. Good. All right. So concentrating. No, I think we did this later on in this sequence, but we're starting with it now because you've got this straight leg down. Okay, so the roll and the flick, right? We resist the bend of the knee. Good. Inhale, exhale, land. Inhale, exhale, land. 8, 7, 6, 5. Good. Length on both sides of the waist. 4, 3, 2. Let's go into full range of motion. Okay, right here. It's a bend and a leave. Bend and leave. Good. Bend and leave. Oh, it's all coming back to me now. Okay, we got that kick coming up. It's coming up after this full range of motion jump right now. I just want you to focus. That right knee is tracking with big toe, second toe. I know it burns. The second side is always worse because it's not like it was relaxing when we were doing the other side. It's all full body engagement all the time. And sometimes you don't believe me, but see, this is proof. This is proof. When it burns this fast on the second side, this is why. You're here for 6 before we start that kick. The kick is going to feel good. 5, 4, 3, 2, last one. Now let's add the kick. You're going to kick forward, come back to land. But nothing is changing, right? We stay stacked, we stay stable. That kick is only as far forward as it can be holding good form. And we got to get that heel down every time. Okay, reach and come back. Reach and come back. kick and come back. 8. Whoo! 7. Well, at least we got that straight leg out of the way, right? 6. 5. 4. 3. 2. 1. And bring it all the way in. Holy mackerel. Okay, on your back. On your back. This is all she wrote. All right, so let's make it happen. Right leg. Now remember, headrest up or down, your choice. Arms are long by your side. Let's place both feet on the jump board to get set up. You're going to take both legs out to 2 straight legs. Stay there. Okay, your right foot stays on the jump board. Your left knee comes over your hip. Flex your left foot. Shin is parallel to the floor. You have a 90-degree angle at the back of your knee. That's important. Please maintain that. It allows the knee to sink the femur into the pelvis. Find your neutral pelvis. Little bit of breathing room under that low back. Narrow the ribs into your pelvis. Okay? Here we go. Arms are imprinting the carriage. On your exhale, you're going to bend your right knee. Keep your heel down. Inhale, leaf. All right? That range of motion, when you bend your knee, being able to keep the heel down is what's going to improve your gait. It's what's going to improve your flexibility. It's what's going to give you better mobility through your ankles. Okay? So I want you to really work for that. By jumping on your toes, all you are doing is loading your knee. And our knees can't take that. Okay? Not for long periods of time, not over extended amounts of time. The knee, it takes a beating. Okay? So we want to protect that. Okay? Exhale, inhale, that balloon inflates into the air. Right? Inhale. Exhale. Breathing into your ribs. So your inhale breath, you should feel your rib basket grow in size. It's not your tummy that inflates outbound. It's not your shoulders that go up by your ears. It's your ribs that grow wide, like a cylinder, expanding. Okay? Inhale. That is core strength. We are working on core strength with our breath. Okay? Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Make your breath audible. Make it so you can hear it. Okay? That's good. That's good. Expelling all that air out. Good. Allows you to get more in. All right? You're here for 6. Before we change it to that kick in 5, 4, 3, 2, last 1. Now we're going to go for that kick. You're going to kick and land. Kick and land. But the kick does not change the orientation of our pelvis, right? It stays nice and stable. Kick and land. Kick and land. Landing through the ball of the foot, rolling to the heel. It all happens so fast, right? So my cues may not make sense when I say it that slow, right? Because the articulation through your foot and that landing, it happens fast. You leave fast, right? Heel, ball, toe ball, heel. Heel, ball, toe ball, heel. Good. Just keep moving. Keep moving and it'll come. I promise. After a while, you'll realize 8, 7, over time, the consistency. The consistency is what wins. Okay? 4, 3, 2, we're ending with straight leg jumps on this leg. Last 1, pause. Pause for me, straighten that right leg out. Okay, find the neutral pelvis, left knee is over the hip, that foot is flexed on the left side. Here we go, it's a roll and a flick. A roll and a flick. It is also extremely challenging for the mind to go from big movement to little movement like this. Okay, we want it to stay big, right? That's it. We were big, full range of motion jumps, carriage was leaving, and now nothing's barely happening. But a lot is happening, actually. A lot is happening. We're working deeply on the core right now. Good. Roll and flick. Roll and flick. Good. Roll and flick. Excellent. Nice control here. Inhale, exhale. 8, 7. Good. You want to think about going straight up and straight down. 5, 4, 3, 2. Last one. Place your left foot on the jump board as well. Both feet are on your jump board. Bend both knees. Keep your heels down. Inhale, leave for a jump. Okay? This is where we end, right here. Full range of motion, both legs. Both legs work so hard. All right? Now, to elevate this just a little bit more, you're going to add an ab curl. Interlace your fingers. Place them behind the base of your skull. You're lifting your head, neck, and shoulders, but not with your hands. You're lifting them with the core. Your hands are simply a cradle for your head. Now, if you want to get deeper, your hands can be traction for your skull. So using the base of your thumbs or the heels of your hand, you can traction the skull so it feels like it's lengthening out of the spine. Okay? You're still thinking about that inhale taking you out and your exhale to land you. Okay? Whoo! Right here. This is it. Elbows stay wide. Keep that ab curl. You're here for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, last one, and bring it all the way in. Whoo, guys, hug your knees into your chest. Give them a nice little hug. That was a lot of jumping. It was a lot of jumping. Holy moly, right? Good. Really quick, take the inside, or take your hands to the inside of your feet, the instep of your feet, so your arches. Okay, you're gonna grab inside your feet and let your knees open up wider than your shoulders and your flexed feet look at the ceiling. And just hold this right here. Right, little happy baby. Let the hips open up. Let everything release. You can rock side to side if that feels good. Through the spine, you're on an elevated surface, so I know sometimes that can be scary to rock side to side, but it doesn't need to be a big rock, just a little one. Good. Last 4. Last 3. Last 2. Good, you guys. Hug your knees into your chest one more time. Just stay right here. Close your eyes and be grateful for this time together, this time without distraction, right? This time to focus on yourself, your mind, and your body connection. It's the most important thing. It's what's going to keep us going. This is how we drive our practice deeper, right? Our Pilates journey goes further, right? And we're doing it together. Oh, guys, such a good job. Come on up for me. Now listen, if you want more, right? Because I know I don't drop YouTube workouts enough. I hear it all the time, right? They're not every week. I get it. They're about once a month. If you want more from me, I do have an on-demand platform, if you didn't know. It's called Pilates by JessPFit, and it is full. It is very full. So anyways, this on-demand platform already has about 400 classes on it, both on the mat and on the reformer. I have 2 live classes that happen regularly every week, a Thursday live mat class and a Sunday live reformer class. I add weekly pop-up live classes in there as well that are less than 60 minutes, both on the mat and the reformer. I'm playing with times right now, so they happen at random times. If you are a member on the platform, you get an email from me letting you know when these live classes will be happening so you can sign up for them. As a member on the platform, you don't pay for anything extra. You have access to all of the recorded classes on the platform, both mat and reformer, all of the live classes on the schedule. We have a monthly live check-in call where you're allowed to talk to me one-on-one and ask me about your practice, right? That is open to you. We usually start it out with a 20 to 30-minute core-focused workout on the mat, and then we deep dive into a topic that I choose, and then we get into all your questions and all your thoughts, okay? That's your time. So that happens once a month. That's called a check-in session. They are all recorded and put up on the platform, so if you ever are not able to join live for any of the live classes, they all go up on the platform as a recorded session, and you can do them at any time. And that's it. You have all access to me all the time, so I'm just an email away. As a member of the platform, you get it all, right? YouTube is just a piece, and if this is how you found out about me, then I am so grateful for that, because YouTube has been fantastic. And I'm not going away. I'm gonna stay on YouTube. I'm gonna keep dropping your workouts on YouTube. Really, the platform is just if you want more from me, okay? So visit it, Pilates by JessPFit, 7-day free trial. In that 7 days, you have access to everything, even the live classes, so take advantage of it. If you have any questions for me, drop me a message. I would love to hear from you, and nice work today.